I don't know if you've struggled in your marriage. You probably have, haven't we all? Like little struggles like discontent and bickering and the occasional huge fight. But for some of you, it's more. Some of you need some hope. So I've had regular marriage struggles for sure, but then I've had the atomic bomb dropped in the middle of all of it, and surviving that fallout, coming out on the other side. That's why you and I are talking today. My story starts a few years ago. I was on my third marriage, and even though it was my third marriage, I thought that I had the whole marriage thing figured out. Like, my wife and I got along. We liked being together. We didn't really fight. I mean, I put my marriage up on a pedestal. I put my wife up on a pedestal. We had one boy together who was 9 months old, and then my 4 boys from my previous relationship. Things were fine. Like, they were fine. I remember it was a Monday. It felt like a normal day. Really, I'd run some errands, I'd come home, we had dinner, and then afterwards, my wife called me into the bedroom and she said, "Hey, I need to talk to you about some stuff." And I said, "Sure, what's up?" And I had no idea the weight of the conversation that we were getting ready to have. So I go into the bedroom and she starts talking about how the previous day the pastor at church had said that we needed to take responsibility for things that we've done. And I was still clueless. I was just like, yeah, okay, what's going on? And I don't know what I really thought she was going to say. I don't know if I thought that there was some dark part of her past that she hadn't told me about or what, but I thought, whatever it is, we'll figure it out. I loved her. And then she looked at me and she said, "I cheated on you." That one sentence, it crippled me. Like I still remember it freshly, like it was yesterday, like all that flood of emotions. Like that one sentence. Yeah, looking back, it did change the trajectory of my life. It sure did. But in the moment, like I felt disbelief. Like I think I thought she was going to look at me and say, "Oh no, I'm just kidding." Isn't that funny? No, I felt hurt and anger. I was angry at her. I was angrier at him because this was someone that I knew, someone that I would have counted as a friend. And I can't believe it. No, not the love of my life. Like, what do you mean this happened? And I see my whole world just crumbling. I see my 4 boys having already gone through divorce, experiencing that yet again, and our precious little toddler. Like now he's going to be another victim of the fallout of serial bad relationships that his dad has. Now, I'm not completely innocent in all of this. In fact, I was unfaithful to my second wife. In fact, I was unfaithful to my second wife with my current wife. It's not something that we're proud of, and I wish that our relationship didn't start that way, but I'm coming to you with truth. So I'm not one of these guys who's been a goody two-shoes and never gotten his hands dirty. Like, I've done some stuff. Now, some of you will say, well, that's just karma. And okay, I disagree, but I get it. I don't believe in karma, but I do see it as a consequence. I was suffering some pain as a result of consequences of very ungodly decisions that I had made in my life. But regardless, now, here we are. The atomic bomb has just gone off, and I'm looking around and I have no idea what to do. I thought we were doing all the right stuff. I mean, we had started going to church, we were giving, we were connected, we were volunteering. But when I look back, like we were just going through the motions. Like we weren't surrendered. We weren't looking at God and saying, "Hey, how do you want me to live my life?" In fact, when I found out about the infidelity, my wife was still an agnostic, and I had no clue. An agnostic is somebody who's not even sure there is a God. So really, even though we were going to church and doing the stuff, like nothing had changed. Inside, we were still the same 2 broken people who had walked out on our previous marriages. So what did we do? Well, we were connected to the church, and so I called up our pastor, and he came over and he prayed with us and he talked with us, and then he and his staff, they actually connected us to some really good Christian counselors. And so then we just rolled up our sleeves and we did the work. We did the work that it took to repair our marriage. But here's the thing, here's the point, and this is why I'm sharing this with you, because this is your hope. That event that happened, that changed the trajectory of my life, that event took us on a journey of spiritual transformation. And so it completely changed how we do life. Like, no longer was our faith just one compartmentalized aspect of our life. It became our whole life, because that day that I'm talking about, that I found out about the affair, we found ourselves just face down in the dirt. Like, there was no place down to reach. All we could do was reach up. And as it turns out, God's hand was there the whole time, just waiting for us. And basically saying, are you ready to live life on my terms? So fast forward to now, and now we've gone 1,000 miles on this journey. Like, we've enjoyed that transformation. We've changed who we are. And now we have an amazing marriage. We have a marriage that I want my little boys to grow up to have. We have a marriage that I want you to find. I mean, we're talking about two people who are excited to see each other, who live in transparency, who have peace and contentment. We have a house that's full of calm. It's full of love. Because we're now two whole people who have come together to become one, instead of two fractured, broken, partial souls that were just looking for completeness. So why have I developed this platform? Like, why am I bearing my soul to you and willing to lift up my shirt and show you my scars? It's because I believe that as you go on this journey with me, and you see the transformation that's taken place in not only our marriage, but our lives as individuals, that's your hope, that you can find the same thing that we have found, that you can see what God's done within us, and that you can learn some really good principles to change how you and your spouse do life. See, I think it's worthwhile for me to be vulnerable with you, for me to walk this out with you, and to share my pain so that I can show you the steps that you can take so that you can have an amazing marriage, a marriage that becomes this immovable rock that's the foundation of your life. Now, there's lots of thought leaders out there in marriage that can give you wonderful, wonderful godly advice, and take it. Take all the advice you can get. But none of them have walked in my shoes. See, I'm going to be transparent with you and vulnerable, because as you can tell, like, I've made some major mistakes in my life and in my marriages. I've gone through a myriad of struggles. But you see, as I faced those struggles, learned from them, and conquered them, that gives me an opportunity to bring my experiences to you. See, I'm going to teach you things that I've learned, growth that we've experienced, things that we've learned as we've grown in our marriage, and then also stuff that I've learned as I've gone back to grad school to get my master's in pastoral counseling. So I'm going to bring all that to bear to be able to help you out, because I believe that you can find what we found. And I think that if you'll stick around with me on this journey, maybe I can spare you from having some of the same difficulties I've faced, like 2 divorces. Or if you and your spouse are going through some stuff right now, I think my experiences, I can shorten how long it takes you to find healing. Now, if you've already got a pretty decent marriage, it's pretty good, I believe that you can ignite your marriage and soar to an entirely new level by taking the principles that I'm going to share with you as we hang out. Now, if you know someone whose marriage is hurting, whether they're struggling with infidelity that they're trying to work through, or they're just trying to exist better, have less pain and less tears, please share this with them. Click the share button or send them a copy of this, because I think there's people out there, you or someone else, that needs to hear this. And I'm also going to ask you to come over to my website, real simple, deebonney.com, and start checking out the videos that I'm putting out, because I want to be able to teach you how to walk this out, how to do life better, how to have an amazing marriage that's ignited, that's turned into something that you never even imagined that it could be. I hope you'll join me. Come along for the journey.